that's not all. The Morning Crossfire is your platform too. Your thoughts, your opinions, they all have a place right here. From politics to business and the economy, from the social issues to the heart of the city. I'll be your companion, your source of information, and your partner in exploration. And it's just not about the headlines. It's about the conversations we have, the connections we make, and the impact we create. Your insights matter, your questions matter, and your energy matters. So whether you're in traffic, having breakfast, or starting your workday, I'll be right here, keeping you informed and engaged. So Lagos, stay tuned, set your alarms, and mark your calendars. Let's kickstart our mornings together, right here on the Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info and Kofi Bartels. Let's talk.
Live from the heart of Victoria Island, you're listening to your number one station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
We're still here. It's still the Morning Crossfire right here on 99.3 Nigeria. I'm Kofi Bartels. Great to know you're there listening to us. Of course, it's still a cool weather, and the temperature is quite low. I saw some showers, a little bit of showers shower or drizzle while I was on my way to work this morning around 4 a.m. It was just a little bit. I had to use the wiper a little, but I think the rain didn't fall. I do not know if it will fall today, right here in Lagos. I think I saw a weather forecast for some rain in Ikeja on my phone. But it's currently right now 28 degrees Celsius, precipitation 100%, humidity 84%, wind 21 kilometers per hour. Today, Wednesday, what I'm seeing is a bit of how do I call it now? On Victoria Island, a bit of rain, little rain today, being Tuesday, a little bit of rain. So please do try to keep yourself safe and all. But if you're driving, make sure that everything is well. Don't drive put on your AC when you're driving in water and all that. So protect your car, and drive safely. It's very important. Okay, so in Victoria Island, Lagos, as of 8:04 a.m., there's supposed to be some sort of rain, going on here. But I didn't see the rain when I stepped outside. It looks like it wants to rain. Anyway, we continued our conversation this morning on halting the Naira slide. I'm glad to have a guest back in the studio. I don't always do this. I've never done this since I came back here. I came back on Info. Never done this, to have a guest back to back on the same issue. But it was quite interesting what we started yesterday, talking about how to rescue the Naira. It reminds me of some politician or someone, even just a soldier who went to war and was abducted or as a prisoner of war, and the U.S. needs to send maybe the SEAL team or Delta Force to go rescue them.
Saving Private Ryan, I think.
Saving Private Ryan. So yeah, that's it. So good movie. That's what it looks like. How to try to get a Naira out of jail.
Correct.
So you got to give us get out of jail strategies. And that's what you're doing when they sit down and put the map on the table.
The roadmap.
The roadmap. It's okay. Alpha Echo, Bravo Tango. You go here. That's what you've been. It's been quite interesting. We got some feedback from what you did yesterday. I don't know if you had anybody, meet you, say, "Oh, we love what you did." So we got
quite a bit, actually.
A bit of. Oh, wow, interesting. That's good. So I guess this Segun Rex Ayo-Adebanjo. He's a venture capitalist. He is a serial entrepreneur. He's a managing director of Rearden Capital IMG. which is an incubator firm that founded and developed some of Nigeria's leading innovative commercial firms and creative enterprises, such as Starsight Energy, which is a leading commercial solar energy company servicing several banks and other commercial enterprises. Atlas Tower Management Services, a telecom infrastructure provider. What If Hub and Concrete Records. You like entertainment, like your music. I'll put some money there. Okay. Also, prior to founding Rearden IMG, Segun Ayo-Adebanjo was an attorney with Davis Polk and Wardell, Clifford Chance, and Sidley Austin LLP, a Wall Street law firm, all Wall Street law firms in New York City. He earned a BA in philosophy from the University of Ife in Nigeria, an LLB from the University of Buckingham in England, and a JD from Columbia University, New York, where he was a Harlan Fiske Stone scholar. Harlan Fiske Stone, right?
Correct.
Okay, scholar, and an articles editor for the Columbia Business Law Review. That's an important publication.
Yes, it is.
Yes, an important publication. So we started yesterday talking about how to rescue the Naira, because Naira has been adjudged to be the worst performing currency in the world. And Bloomberg did put out a report. They looked at all the information. For instance, the trend of the Naira and its relationship between the foreign currencies, like the US dollar, as put out by FMDQ, I believe. So they observed all of that, all the information. That's where we go to for exchange rate information. No more. It's no longer Bookie FX, right? Otherwise, maybe they would have written that they went to Bookie FX. But anyway, so and they looked at how other currencies in the world had performed, and they put everything together. It's not too difficult, and then they said that, okay, because Bloomberg is an authority, and they said the Naira is the worst performing currency in the world. And this is a currency that had been judged the best performing in around March and April of this year. It wasn't doing badly. And like we said yesterday, when the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Yemi Cardoso, went on abroad for the IMF and World Bank spring meetings, very important forum, it was almost like a lap of victory. He was giving interviews and telling people why the Naira was doing well. And that has been changed. It's all changed now. It's gone full round circle or about turn. And the Naira is now adjudged the worst performing currency in the world. What does that mean when you hear worst performing currency? I think of Zimbabwean dollars, when they have to, use wheelbarrows to push. Just you want to go to the market to buy food, you have to put all the money. I think of Venezuela, where the currency became worthless.
Right.
Is that where we are?
It's not strange for anyone to see that the bottom has fallen out of our economy. So this is actually a reflection of that. And that's why I said we need to just figure out a roadmap back. And you have to start from first principles, like what is the economic objective in the first place. The first thing, of course, like I said, it's about maximizing productivity with the primary aim being full employment. And from that, you can then see what you do to address what Bloomberg identified as the imbalance between demand and supply, which is just basic economics, which everyone understands, which affects price. And that's what the Naira is suffering from. And like I tried to outline yesterday, there are 5 things I think this government should do. One or two of which I think are immediate and impactful.
But before you get there, we're not in the worst situation. That is when we hear the Naira is the worst performing. We're not in the worst situation. We shouldn't be scared that we're going to end up in like Venezuela, where people are lying on the streets and all that, or like Argentina, where people couldn't get their money out of the bank. We shouldn't be that scared, right?
No, we shouldn't. And I think that's what the CBN did. I was somewhat sympathetic to the fact that on the fiscal side, I think the CBN is trying to do all it can, which is what it did when it raised interest rates, which is not an advisable act if you think about it. But it was really a fire brigade approach, like just calm the waters, like give us time to think, almost, I think, to figure this out. I think that's what they were doing. And then hopefully they will get, that was the monetary side. And hopefully they will get support from the fiscal side, which is where the real work needs to be done, which are the things I outlined.
All right. So let's get to those things. You talked about allocating FAC in dollars and really changing how the FAC money is shared.
Correct. Because that's you think about it, that's a monthly occurrence, and it has a real impact on demand and supply of dollars and Naira. So what I was saying is we basically have been shooting ourselves in the foot. I'm not sure why this has gone on for so long. Why we print money to replicate the dollar that's already earned. So that money is not really backed up by real new value. So it's really phantom. All it does is dilute the market, the Naira in the market already, because you're just issuing new money that's not backed up by new productivity.
So the Central Bank of Nigeria has just been printing money.
Well, they either print it or they reissue from their stock.
Okay.
Either way, they're funding the market with more Naira, and that's more liquidity, chasing what they think is scarce dollars. So you do two things. You create phantom money,
Okay.
which is diluting the value of the money already in existence. And as well, you create a fake demand for money you already have, for the dollars you already have. And I have to explain that a little bit in terms of a cycle. So imagine the estate earns $100 from FAC. That's the money it already has. I'm saying allocate that money. You don't give them cash. Let's be clear. There's not going to be cash dollars given to the states, but they would have an account with the CBN where it's allocated their money. Now they have Naira expenses, salary, and things like that. So now they have to chase dollars to buy. So that's the better way to fund BDCs. So they now direct the CBN, buy me 300 Naira. So the BDCs will now bring Naira and buy that amount of dollars from the states or the federal government or the local government that have the entitlement to that. So what we currently do, which I said is wrong, is we print by voodoo what we deem the equivalent of the dollar, the $100. The CBN does determines, okay, we think based on last week's pricing and this, it's 90. It's not, scientific enough. It's not real price discovery. So that, assuming 90K, is now given to the state. The state now gives that same money to a contractor to execute on something. A contractor has to spend, has to seek FX because he has to buy raw materials and things like that. It now has to buy that same $100 back, but it now has to buy that 1,500. So as you can imagine, it's buying a fraction of the value of that same $100 that the state already had. It's like buying its own money. So I said avoid that round robin. That is creating too much dilution of the Naira and creating phantom demand for the dollars. And I think that you think about that occurring monthly. It's really, really, I think probably the most damaging thing we're currently doing.
Interesting. So that phantom demand you're talking about is because they hand the money from the inflow from, let's say, crude oil sales.
Yes.
That comes in US dollar.
Yes.
They're handing that money to the states in Naira.
Yes.
They're not giving them the dollars they make.
Correct.
And these states now, like you said yesterday, have to go look for US dollars to be able to buy.
Yes.
To fund their projects, because they have to get things from outside the country.
Correct.
And then they have to buy the dollar at a higher rate than what they would have gotten it from the government.
Yes, they're buying their own money back. They're doing this through their vendors and
therefore
contractors.
increasing the value of the Naira.
Increasing
the value of the dollar, I meant
and
to
creating
say.
a phantom demand for, as if there's new demand for dollars.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? Because the dollar is already there.
Is USD coming in from into the federal government's coffers apart from loans? Because the NNPC has been telling Nigerians for some time now that they're not making any money.
So I'm not sure how that ties into the equation. Loans wouldn't be something they allocate in FARC.
No. So crude oil sales, for instance.
Yes, that's the one we need to focus on.
But they're saying they're not making any money because they've been doing a crude oil swap.
Well, that's honestly a whole new conversation we need to have, and that might change the topic of this. I think it's just ridiculous that even the former CBN governor, Sanusi, said he has no visibility into the earnings of the NNPC. And everyone just went to sleep as if that was no big deal. That is the biggest deal. Firstly, we have no idea what even our IOC contracts are. No one knows what they are. This should be public knowledge. We should be able to see the terms in which our oil is sold and the pricing, whether there's transfer pricing and whatever. Consciously, the whole country should be at least have a say and visibility into that and the earnings. So, like I said, that's another conversation for another day.
For instance, in the Punch of January 29, 2024, they reported that the NNPCL remitted zero allocation to the Federation account in 2022. And then in subsequent years, they had been talking about, not making any profit because they're servicing debt, they're, but I don't know if that is the case 100% today. Let me just be honest.
The fact that you don't know is the problem. That shouldn't be a black hole. You're part of the press. You're part of the vehicle which the public is informed. And you don't know. We have a Freedom of Information Act. And even the former CBN governor doesn't have a window into that. So if we're getting ripped off by all companies or foreign countries, we don't even have a say in it. We don't even know that. It's what I think Chief Abiola called someone shaving your head in your absence. And like I said, that's a whole new political issue that we probably need to raise consciousness about and reverse.
All right. Another, reminder, that this whole topic reminds us that for some time there was a conversation about the NNPC not releasing financial statements.
Yes.
But let's leave that for another day. So, you've talked about fixing the way or changing the way the FAC allocation is distributed, or the remittances are the revenue. Sorry, is distributed.
Yes.
So get the dollar and give the states the dollar. Why is the federal government not giving the states the dollar, in your opinion?
Well, firstly, I think it's unconstitutional. I just don't know why the states haven't pursued legal action on that. I haven't researched into the origin of where this practice began, but like I said, it just doesn't make any sense. And I know a few economists have been saying this right from the 80s. There's an economist, Mr. Boyo. I can't remember his first name. I think he's passed away. The late...
Yeah, Boyo from Oron. Yeah. Escort Toyo.
No. Boyo.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that was his last name.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yes. And so the other things, like I said, is obviously you have to make the effort to raise your earnings, especially the ones that give you FX. And that's why I said we need to open up.
Henry Boyo.
That's
sorry
correct.
about that.
Very good.
I missed
You're
that.
quick to the research.
Yeah.
So like I said, the other thing I also recommend is that we open certain mines so that there's a gold rush in the country where people actually go prospecting for gold and other minerals that are amenable to artisanal mining. That, I think, is also, like I said, the primary objective should be full employment to maximize our productivity. Every Nigerian who wants a job should have a job and be gainfully employed. That's how we can maximally operate at an optimal level.
Okay. So your answer or your solution to, because you said we need to get the economy productive. We need to increase Nigeria's productivity. That will play into GDP? Is what that?
Absolutely. And those are the things that reflect on the value of your currency.
And you think more people should be employed, and your way out for
not more people, all people, everybody who wants to be gainful. I'm serious.
Okay, and your way out is for the mines everywhere in the country to be opened for any Nigerian who wants to mine to go and mine. Just get a government license.
That's one. They don't even need a government license. The government license are for big businesses who want
just
to
go and dig what you want to dig.
No. Yes, go and in particular sites.
Wouldn't that be a recipe for anarchy?
It's not anarchy. That's why the government needs
disaster.
No. The anarchy is what you currently have, which is what you have in Zamfara with bandits and all that. There's mining going on. Exactly what I'm talking about is going on, but it's not regulated, and it's causing insecurity and creating a culture of violence. It's like the Wild Wild West in the old American Western movies. It was also driven by that. Before government steps in and say, look, we can have this, and we have all the tools necessary to regulate this. Just create a whole vast area, fence it up with this barbed wire, as I talked about, like the U.S. border control uses. It's a new kind of barbed wire. And the military, and just funnel guys to have you register to be a miner. You get an NIN card. When you discover mining, there's a board government agency that you sell it to at international prices, who can now pay you Naira, which is good. They can now sell that gold on the international market. You pay tax on it. And then they can use some of it as gold reserve to back up the Naira. So it's just a complete win-win. And then obviously all our idle youth, and it reduces insecurity. And
will it be enough? Because it's going to be a rush. People will...
No, like I said, it's not the only thing.
Okay,
but it's just
even
things. That as a distraction, even only as a distraction, so people feel they have some control of taking their destiny into their own hands to seek their fortunes. I think it has a beneficial effect. And also announcing that as a policy. I know a few other countries have done that recently. Uganda.
Really?
Also, yes.
Uganda?
It's either Uganda or Zimbabwe. It might be Zimbabwe, but I know one of them have done it. And it's not even the only one. I think Mali is also considering something like that. But it just makes common sense. The most strongest currency in the world still have built. If you look at the gold reserves of countries like France, Russia, China, lately everyone has vastly increased their gold reserve because it's becoming an uncertain world, and they're removing the dollarization of the economy, of the world economy. So that's going to affect things and increase the value of gold, making gold increasingly more important. And we need to seize that opportunity. We have the population to do that. We don't need to wait for big miners. They would do their part. And we have the policies in place for that. We just need to get more data. And these artisanal miners can even be canneries that lead that and help in that process.
Right.
But the key thing is to get our people employed, at least earning something. Think about the knockoff effect. Even towns would develop.
But there's a little bit of that. You know, Buhari had the presidential artisanal
Yes.
gold mining initiative, PAGMI.
Correct.
And I think they have the gold purchase program, which is still on.
Correct.
But the change of government has meant that some of these policies, you don't know if they are still
No,
alive.
they are. They recently announced it a couple of days, and I commended that. What I'm saying is the scale of it needs to be vastly increased.
We'll come back to that because I want you to talk about that when we come back from our break.
Okay.
Let's pay some bills. Stay with us. The Morning Crossfire.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
No matter waiting, I show you. You show me love.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You show me, you show me, you show me love.
Show some more love today with 4 more packs of your favorite Indomie noodles in Indomitable and Super Pack cartons. Also, each Indomitable pack is now 200 Naira, while Super Pack is now 350 Naira. So hurry now. Offer valid till stock lasts.
Nigga, I need capital to grow my business, but getting a loan is not easy.
Emeka, have you heard of Advanced Nigeria? They are not your typical microfinance bank. They make accessing loans easy with competitive rates and flexible requirements.
Really?
Yes, they offer loans up to 150 million naira, a mobile banking app, and USSD for easy transactions.
Emeka visited Advanced Nigeria and was amazed by the fast and convenient application process. Visit Advanced Nigeria or call 7000-238-267 now.
Everyone says I'm beautiful and bold. They say I'm fashionable. And to crown it up, very confident. And my secret is...
People say I'm good looking, funny, hardworking, and to crown it up, very confident. And my secret is...
So whether in the office or at home,
in the streets or on the dance floor,
anytime, any day, I never lose my confidence. And the secret to my confidence is Wazobia perfume.
absolutely. Wazobia perfume gives the authenticity and long-lasting fragrance all day. That's my secret confidence.
Wazobia perfume is available in body spray.
Also available in supermarkets and markets near you.
You can also get it on Jumia.
Wazobia perfume, the correct scent.
The search for Nigeria's bravest children is on. The 16th Indomie Heroes Awards themed The Unsung Heroes is here. A CSR initiative powered by Duffield Prima Foods Limited. The Indomie Heroes Awards call on young Nigerians to share their heroic stories in any of these categories: social, intellectual, or physical bravery. Are you aged 15 and below? Visit heroesofnigeria.com to submit story of your brave acts. Entry closes by July 10.
Tell me which kind thing Viva no fi wash away, 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 away. Genato, tomato paste, or coffee stain your body. Viva go wash away, 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 away. Chicken for your clothes, now all you need for Viva to wash away, 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 away. Gentle for your pocket, gentle for your hand.
Trader, are you ready for the flight? Yeah. Maximize your gains day or night. The platform, HFM is the name. Trading with us is a brand new game. Come on, feel alone. Execution slow. Switch to HFM. Watch your success grow. Higher leverage, tighter spreads and swap free. Got your back in this financial fight. Trade forex, commodities, indices, shares and more. Just come and see HFM online trading. Withdrawals, deposit done in a dash. Our execution too fast. HFM stands apart from the rest. HFM stands apart from the rest.
Pico, HFM finito, HFM is ito. HFM na shop platform, online trading, forex trading, any trading. HFM no delay.
Join HFM today. Visit www.hfm.com or download the HFM app on Google Play or App Store. HFM, online trading at its finest.
No matter waiting, I show you, you show me love.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You show me, you show me, you show me love.
Show some more love today with 4 more packs of your favorite Indomie noodles in Indomitable and Super Pack cartons. Also, each Indomitable pack is now 200 Naira, while Super Pack is now 350 Naira. So hurry now. Offer valid till stock lasts.
Meals have a way of taking us on a journey, and when you add plenty of vegetables like efo, ugu, and season with the rich taste of North seasoning cubes, even better.
So, go ahead and elevate your meals with more vegetables and the rich taste of Knorr cubes. Today, eat for good.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Live from the heart of Victoria Island, you're listening to your number one station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, go to throw the phone lines now open. Not say, we don't actually throw it open. I know why we say we throw it open, but I want to start taking calls now. 0201 277 0993, 0201 277 1993, 0201 277 2993, or 0201 277 3993. Rescuing the Naira, halting the Naira slide, halting the Naira's decline, and turning around the fortunes of the Naira. We still have a guest with us this morning on the show, Segun Rex, Ayo-Adebanjo. The name sounds familiar.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's because I'm Pa Ayo-Adebanjo's son.
I know some listeners out there have been saying, they've been trying to put 1 and 2 together. Okay, so he's Pa Ayo-Adebanjo's son. And of course, there's a lot to talk about your professional life, family life, and all that history. Maybe we'll do that sometime later. But anyway, you've listened to his ideas. Yesterday, he talked about charging Nigerians more for electricity. And I had a back and forth with him about why that should not be allowed to stand. But we'll look at all that later. Let's take some calls before we look at the next point that you have. 99.3, good morning.
Hello, Kofi. Good morning.
Welcome. What's your name and where are you listening to us from?
Hi, my name is Tony. I'm calling from Iju.
Good morning, Tony. Your contribution, please.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Kofi. You're wonderful. You're a professional.
I
must say that. Thank you. Yesterday, I listened again to today. Yesterday and today. Wonderful guest you have there. Thank you for bringing him back. But this is what I've been saying to Nigerians. Our leaders, they know we have a problem, but they don't want to fix it. Are you telling me that this man that you have here, we do not have millions of them in Nigeria? Now, in private sector, where I work, for instance, we had an issue some weeks ago. What happened? The lead called everybody to the table. We have a problem. They target a war room, a war zone. Wow. And everybody came up with different ideas, just like what your guest is doing today. And in no time, in less than 72 hours, there was a solution. Something that would have cost the business a very big fortune. But we were able to solve it. So I keep telling them, are you saying that the Mr. President cannot do a round table? Guys,
We have issue with power. We have issue with dollar. What do we do? There are guys that are professional, just like your guests are saying. Put them together and get this done.
All right. Thank you very much.
There's a solution to everything, but it's just that they don't want to do it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Thank you, bro.
Thank
you
you.
very kindly for your time. 99.3, good morning.
Yeah, Kofi, how you doing? Good morning to you, Jonathan.
Welcome, Jonathan. Welcome.
Your guest too. I listened yesterday too. I think it's very interesting guest you have there. So, but it's not a rocket science like you said yesterday. It's just our leaders. Like what is happening in the oil sector. I never saw it coming anyway. IOC or what do they call themselves? I never saw it coming anyway. My 15 years of analysis of subsidy removal. I never saw it come. But I knew some people are frustrating something somewhere. For example, we don't need dollar to be importing fuel into this country. We have crude. What we need to do is very simple, Kofi. What is our export over our import? It's very simple, and we have resources. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. So all the English we have been saying is very simple. Boost your exports. So Nigerians in their little corner, Kofi, I can testify, are doing great with these exports.
Yes,
absolutely. I don't know our
Absolutely.
nation cannot take the bullet. Ordinary yam. During Buhari's time, they cannot export yam.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Yam even happens to be on the export prohibition list, though they don't enforce it all the time. That's strange. We have to take another call before we come back to our guest. 99.3, good morning.
Good morning, Bartels.
Welcome. Pastor Ladipo, what's your name and where are you listening to?
You called my name. You say, where is my name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Pastor Ladipo. Good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
And I'm calling from Orile in Sarigomo. What a brilliant idea. Do you know, Kofi, that when it comes to governance, they don't allow ideas to strive? We have had people with brilliant ideas that comes into government are straightened out. Do you know why? Because I don't want to keep making illegal and ill-gotten wealth. That is just it. Look at what he's explaining now. It looks so simple, but let him go and present it. You want somebody somewhere, we sit down on that file. We don't allow that email to go through. We need total cleansing. We need to clean up our system to allow ideas to strive. I listened to him yesterday. I'm listening to him this morning. It looks as if I should be taking notes.
All right.
The guy is making powerful points, but who will hear him?
All right.
Is this psychophants?
Thank you very
Who
much.
will not allow things to fly?
Thank you
May
very
God
much for your
save
time.
this nation.
Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you calling in. Segun Rex, Ayo-Adebanjo, let's look at some other of your suggestions and ideas that you have. Now, you talked about investing in education as a way of strengthening or rescuing the Naira. How does that work? Education.
Well, I mean, I think some of the things you talked about is like the caller Jonathan said, one of the things you want to do is obviously improve your exports or reduce your imports. Either one works, because the reason you have reserves and the Naira's value is affected by reserves is you want reserves to be able to cover like 3 to 6 months of imports. That's really kind of the logic behind it.
You want the reserves to cover 3 to 6 months of import.
Typically like 6 months. So they say, okay, you only have enough reserves to cover 9 months of import. So they assume you're going to somehow go bankrupt technically, and that kind of affects the psychology on the Naira.
Okay.
So obviously, if you don't have imports, your need is reduced, and that coverage, your value increases.
So it reduces how much you even need to have in your external reserves.
It does. So your reserves look more buoyant. So you look richer. So people give you value for that and think they can do more business with you, and you don't have a risk of bankruptcy.
S&P
exactly. You don't have a risk. So those are the things, like I said. So we need to improve our own productivity. And that's why I said investing in things like security and education is like a no-brainer. Security should not be our issue. We have manpower. If we have to print money to back it up, it's a smart way to do it. Even if we borrow money, it makes sense, because like I said, those security personnel are going to be consumers. They're going to buy products. It would circle back into the economy and have a beneficial effect. And the security will encourage more businesses to come in and current businesses to expand. And like I said yesterday, most importantly, you have things like a nighttime economy when you have the power solution like I talked about for street lights.
So you're saying if the street lights in Lagos, the places are not working, if they work at night,
absolutely,
it's going to boost the economy.
Absolutely. You have people trading. if you go to any other country, the US, when they call New York the city that never sleeps, it's just because of light and security. So some people start work at 6 p.m. and either entertainments or different things. There's a nighttime economy.
So
People are
there's more
trading.
employment. Wow.
Yes, there's transportation. People are trading because people feel safer to go out. Your tourism improves.
But you're saying that the electricity companies should give the power to the street lights for free.
Not free necessarily, just as a very subsidized rate. Because then, you see, the thing is, it's like managing a business. Normally, you tax businesses to provide things like security. I mean, businesses used to tax themselves in the old days to provide security. So you're doing the same thing. In this case, you're allowing the power companies to sell power to businesses at whatever the market would take, whatever the businesses can take without shifting to an alternative. So that gives them room for maximum pricing, right? And that way they can invest more in their own infrastructure. The businesses get constant power, so they hire more people and everyone benefits, because the more people who are hired, with the more earnings, the more people who can pay even the higher rates for power.
Unfortunately, we're now paying higher rates because there's no way
because it's not targeted.
Because there's no way for them to target it.
They can. That's what I said should be done. Because, I mean, you think about, once you even do metering, you can target. It's what kind of meter do you have? So we know what we're fitting your zones. And most of the businesses are zoned as well.
So, but the aim is to give all Nigerians constant power supply.
Yes. The question is, how do you get there? This is a roadmap to getting there. Because you can't do it in one fell swoop, because you need constant investments, you have to do it in a staggered form by directing power to the most productive sector, which is manufacturing and businesses, between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. when most people work. So you don't really need as much power in the house. You do, but that's not as critical, right? During 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. You need it at work. So that's where you get the power. Now, in the evenings, because they can't charge that high rate for residences, I would say they now charge a subsidized rate between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. This is just for a staggered period. This might even last for just maybe 1 year or 2 years before everyone gets.
So they should do a time-based.
Yes, make it predictable.
Tariff.
Yes, so that it's
cheaper in the night and then more expensive in the daytime.
Correct. And it's targeted where the supply goes, because now the supply shifts to residences, which lose more lighter appliances and things like not heavy industry.
And it's really productive in a way.
Exactly. So it's not free. It's maybe some closer to the old rate. It's a more subsidized rate. And it's for a fixed, predictable hours so that people can plan.
So how do you go about this in a country and a city and states where the city is not planned as planned, well planned to have a central business district and nobody's living there, industrial zone, somebody's staying there. Everything's mixed up. You go to Ogba, you go to Oregun, people are living.
Like
in
I said, it doesn't need to be perfect. Just get the most you can by one. You could actually get more accuracy depending on how the metering and the technology in the back end for the power companies are. If you could direct it per meter.
Okay.
Right. But I assume that might even be more difficult. But it doesn't matter. Take a place like Lagos and Ogba and that Ogun State axis where the industries are. Those are easy to identify. Those are,
people live in Ogba.
That's fine. They would enjoy the benefit of being in the middle of an industrial zone. That's okay. That's not that. That doesn't defeat the objective we want. We're not trying to say, oh, you're cheating because you get the bit. That's not.
But these guys want to make more money fast because of the.
They are making more money fast because.
But they're saying they own a lot of money.
That's how you help them get the money back. If they owe money. Who's owning a lot of money? To clarify.
No, the distribution companies, they're in debt.
Yes, because they're not being able to charge their own customers a fair price for the power they're supplying. Of course, they'll be in debt.
That's why they want to charge us what they're charging.
They don't
now.
want to charge. I'm saying they shouldn't charge you. They should charge businesses, who find it still profitable to get power from them constantly. So those businesses then will be able to even hire more people. Right? So now when you have more people buying power at its more market-friendly rate, it's going to be cheaper for everybody. But we just don't have the consumer base to spread the cost now.
So you're saying that the distribution company should take residential areas off Band A?
Yes.
And put them on probably Band B?
Correct.
Okay. But how
something along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah. If you are a rich person and you want Band A type power, you pay Band A price. provided they can get that. But
how do you navigate this in an economy where a lot of the businesses are small, micro, and medium? In fact, small businesses.
That's why I said
micro and small.
That's why I said it's a targeted approach. You do it in stages. So focus firstly on the big guys who can employ mass people, would help our export earnings, would help our employment. That's the first thing. And then you now encourage solar power. Because that's the best thing. I used to be in that industry. That's the best thing to service residences and small businesses.
Best?
Yes, it is. As an economic, it's sizing wise. Once you use energy efficient appliances like inverter ACs and all, it's easy to do that 24 hours.
But it's sort of expensive to hear solar panels.
Now,
cost a lot.
good. Now, thank you brought that up. Because the thing the government needs to do is use the land registry, right, to solve for this. So if you have a land registry that is digital, you can have banks and all finance companies finance the deployment of solar power systems to houses, because that debt becomes a lien on the house, which is stuck to the house. So there's security in it. So you can't sell the house without paying off. So it's like a mortgage. So you get a mortgage for power and increases the value of the housing. And that way, everybody can roll out solar power. I've been wondering why we haven't done this in Lagos State, for instance, where just digitize the land registry so that every building, you can go and attach liens on it, right? Once you sign a document with the bank, say, okay, I'll give you 3 million, which you pay over 20 years, which you can because it's land, it's not going anywhere. And this will get your solar power where you only have to pay 50K a month or 20. It's like a no-brainer solution. You do that, everybody gets more power, everyone is happier, even businesses operate. Then you invest, at least support the establishment of solar power equipment. We need more solar panel manufacturers in the country, inverters and batteries and things like that.
Interesting. Yeah. Now you're making Bayo Nanuga, who was here on the program a couple of weeks ago, sound good because he was saying something similar.
Okay.
He was saying something a bit similar. You talked about, so we've dealt with investing heavily in education and security.
Yes.
Education as a way of increasing productivity.
Yes, obviously we need to increase our capabilities as people. Firstly, you have to invest in human beings first before infrastructure. That's what development is. You have to develop your people to the maximum. And we have to improve our skill sets, either as whatever you're doing. We have to all our trainings. It doesn't all have to be university education.
Okay.
You have to have more technical schools.
Teach people how to
do things. Look at everything we import.
In renewable energy.
Renewable energy is one. It's huge. Even start from the basic, like primary school basics. Take out food. How many people need to do food? Clothing, shelter. Think of how many things in the house. Furniture.
Okay, so you're talking about education generally now.
Thank you. Education and skills training. Of course, you'll still do even education up to people who want to learn AI, computer. You do all that. But you have to make sure that we, capture our youth. Not even mostly our youth, actually. I would even start from pre-K learning. Because the science shows that the best time the brain of a person develops is between the ages of 2 and 5 years old.
So pre-kindergarten.
Yes. So what I would recommend, if I was a governor or president, especially a governor, I would make sure that every market has like this container type daycare center, right?
Every market.
Yes, every market. Put solar panel on it and start streaming educational programs where the market women come, check in their children for a token amount, and the children just watch programs and are cleaned up by daycare people. So the women focus on trading, right? And pick their children at the end of the day. Even if they want to do, they can even expand that to even do nighttime trading too, where there's a way mats for the children to sleep. But the children are getting educational input,
In the
not
market.
just,
yes. So they don't just go to market and sit down and they can't go
exactly,
to school.
with dirt, dust, and everything. It wouldn't take bad. Just put 2 or 3 containers with toilet amenities and put it with this flooring that is really cleanable. Hire 1 or 2 people, and everyone checks in and register their children.
Talking about education, I was wondering what happened to our technical colleges and schools.
There are not enough of them.
Are they still even functional?
physical structures are there. I have a friend who's, I think, looking into expanding one of them. Magnificent structures from the 70s or whenever, but they're redundant. They haven't been invested in. Those are the things we need to do.
You know, we used to have government technical college. We used to have, I think we have Opportunity Industrialization Center, federal government, some of these schemes and all that, and I don't know what happened. Okay.
Well, so after education and security, then, like I said, we need to focus on the things that are catalysts for import substitution. And on this, I think we need to focus on 3 key catalysts. The first, of course, being oil. What I would recommend in this, the Dangote refinery is already a long way doing a lot in that aspect in time. But I think what we should do is encourage modular refineries to serve the domestic market. All those guys who are doing illegal refinery in the Niger Delta should be brought in and licensed and regulated and trained to do modular proper refining. So they service the local market and neighboring countries. And then the Dangote refinery can focus on exports to Asia and Europe. And so that we earn FX because obviously we're shareholders in that business. And then obviously, like I said yesterday, we focus on rail and we focus on power. I think we've discussed power. And then I think, my ideas about rail for mass employment as well. And how that is a catalyst for the iron and steel industry to industrialize the country.
There's a lot to talk about. This issue of artisanal refining, I do know that the former Vice President, Ayo-Adebanjo, visited Niger Delta and was talking about that they're going to have a program for the artisanal refineries and all that. And I don't know if that saw the light of the day. But I remember the point at which the price of diesel spiked up in Nigeria and has not come down since was when they started going after these artisanal refiners in River State.
Yeah, we shoot ourselves in the foot. It's like really dumb policies sometimes.
Those guys are called bullfire, who hide in the creeks and steal the little one, not the big one.
And create pollution, environmental damage. Yeah. Just regulate the thing.
The price of diesel just went up. People were involved in this diesel business. Let's go into details. We all know what's happening.
Right.
And some of you say that diesel was better than the imported one. I don't know if that's true. Okay, so let's take some messages. We've run out of time. I don't want us to go without reading any message. So I'll take one here from Mike in Ogun State. He says, my take on Nigeria's development is government should pass a law that stipulates that all arms of government agencies, MDAs, ministries, partner agencies, government universities, etc., should spend 70% of their budget on the local economy. The resultant effect is massive because we'll have massive funds looking for where to land. It will stimulate the economy, increase employment, and boost innovation by 85% under the first 2 years of implementation. All right. Another one says, what the government and the CBN needs to do is to stop the NDF, non-deliverable forwards, which I think they may have stopped. That was a major problem. Too much extra Naira given by the CBN to those capital importation certificates. Your friendly neighbor, I am Olodo. All right. Thank you very much. You agree with that?
The capital importation.
Yeah.
I do not. I'm not versed on the topic. I haven't really studied what the implications are.
Okay. Another one here says, please, that education thing is a great idea. It says, greetings to your guests. I thought of something like that with cowrie card payment, but security is a major issue. Your education suggestion. Yeah.
Why is security a major issue? I wish you had highlighted.
Yeah. So you have to send another message so you can tell us. We don't have too much time. We don't have too much time. I'm trying to take as many messages as I can and calls 0201-277-0993 0201-277-1993. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kofi.
Welcome. Good to hear from you. Very quickly. Your name is what?
Good morning from the corridor. Sir, please let me ask your guest. Sir, are you looking to contest for public office in the nearest future?
Why?
You seem to have honestly.
Why?
You seem to have a vast knowledge of everything that we need to fix this country. Now, what we are facing now is because we have square pegs in round holes. Thank you for everything you've said this morning. God bless you, sir.
Mr. Boli, thank you very much for your time. Okay. You want to answer a question? I'll allow you to answer when we come back.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Very quickly, please.
Yeah, thank you for enlightening us. So the educational idea you talked about, when you were talking about it also, it was the security that came to my mind. We don't want to have such educational system and you have challenge with people kidnapping the children, So security is also a major challenge in regards to the idea you talked about. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. You want to answer Mr. Boli's question? Mr. Boli is always putting fire into my conversations. I don't know why.
Well, look, the reason why I'm in this program is it's not necessary whether I need to be in office or run for. I'm not averse to running for office. The idea is to serve basically, I mean, my primary motivation is to advance the status of the black race. And I think it starts with Nigeria. And I think that's why it's very important we get our act together. So on the point about education, that's a very good one. That's why I said security is very fundamental. There's no excuse for security being a challenge here. It's readily solvable. We have manpower and we can get the resources to do it. So let's just do the staffing. Everything is there. Security is, to me, I don't even know. Like I said, if you also solve the triggers like the banditry and the gold mining things, you can now deploy more resources to serve for security because you've taken away the incentive for people to be bandits.
Yes.
And education, I'm glad that's resonating with people because I think that's really key. I've always been a big advocate for solar power e-learning as a way to spread education widely.
I think we need a special day to talk about that.
Yes, because it's very simple. Take one classroom in every secondary school and put solar panels on the roof and maybe a TV or projector, and all you need is Wi-Fi. And you can download or project the best education from London, the US, into that classroom for science classes and STEM classes.
Interesting. Yesterday, Martin Leki sent a message I loved. He said Africa needs a new currency to develop the African market. All right, we have to go. Segun Rex Ayo-Adebanjo, thank you very much for your time. We've done back-to-back. It's like being a lecture, you know.
Right. Can I just drop 2-3 things? You have 1 minute.
Okay. Very quickly.
Okay. Yes. First, I think we also develop a nationwide register of the unemployed, so we organize them to produce. But also, I think the citizens need to take active participation. Use the recall provision of the Constitution. Let's take hold of our representatives. Let's own them.
Sport.
Okay. We'll come back and say goodbye on the other side, please.
Hi there, parents. Did you know that your child may not always get all the nutrients they need from their diet, and some children are picky eaters? This is why you should give your child Well Kids Smart Chewable Tablets, which is a food supplement from Vitabiotics UK. It contains 21 vitamins and minerals to contribute to brain development and support optimum growth. Choose Well Kid for smart kids. It is available in all leading retail pharmacies nearest to you.
No matter waiting, I show you show me love.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You show me love.
Show some more love today with 4 more packs of your favorite Indomie noodles in Indomitable and Super Pack cartons. Also, each Indomitable pack is now 200 Naira, while Super Pack is now 350 Naira. So hurry now. Offer valid till stock lasts.
Mawadi University, a prestigious Indian university in conjunction with Reach Out Global Contracting Services Limited, specially invite owners of schools, principals, teachers, international education marketers, parents and students to a one-day educational partnership conference. Theme, Scholarship to Study in India, Lagos. Date, 6th July 2024. Venue, The Rig Place Hotel Limited, 18 LC Femi Pass Street, off Abayomi or Adiola Adeku Street, Victoria Island, Lagos. Morning session to feature seminar on benefits of international affiliations and educational partnership. Time, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Afternoon session. An interactive counseling session with only interested parents and students on admission processes. Time, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. For inquiries, please call 0806-445-9643 or 0803-397-4895 or email info.ng@reachoutglobal.com.
In Nigeria, the weather can change in an instant, just like life itself. Even when you are caught in a heavy downpour or harmattan has left your skin dry, there's one thing that never changes: the restoring power of Vaseline Petroleum Jelly. Because we all know when harmattan strikes, if you are not protecting your skin, it cracks. So do your lips, and no one wants that. So use Vaseline Petroleum Jelly to keep your skin healthy, smooth, moisturized and protected all day long, so you can embrace every season with confidence.
To cook correct, they always give me joy. That's now why anytime I cook like this, I dey always season them with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside: ugu, tatasheo, shombo, onions. No one wey I know they put. Now it make my pikin them they always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You see, Sama food with correct vegetables. Come season them with no cubes for that ubonge delicious taste. Today, chop better.
Arenas Plus. When malaria strikes, Arenas Plus. Remember the name, Arenas Plus. When you feeling down, Arenas Plus.
Arenax Plus is the name to remember when you need to beat malaria with ease. Arenax Plus is a combination of artemether and lumenfantrine and is effective in the treatment of malaria in adults and children. So the next time malaria strikes, remember the name. Arenax Plus beats malaria with ease.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see a doctor. Available in pharmacies near you. Arenax Plus is a quality product from Swiffer.
Maker, this one you sit down like this. I hope say no wala. Nah man, not the money where they see for shop. Every time I come, the money not the day complete. Even the one when I give them that adjournment, I never see until today. My brother, you know they keep money for shop again, oh, because anything fit to happen to one. Come on, shit they give goat yam, making keep. It go chop and claim out. Bros, run go Javodani Microfinance Bank to open savings account and put your money inside. Make your mind cooler. You mean Davido savings account? Emeka, not chop your mouth. Now Davodani Microfinance Bank. You fit call am DDMFB. DDMFB? Yes, so with your new savings account, you fit use am request for loan to expand your business. That's now, if you run the savings account wella, you fit use your mobile banking app, check balance, do transfer, and buy airtime. Share Davodani Day Alaba International Market. Yes, so even other markets like Balogun Trade Fair, Computer Village, Okeare Market, Arena Oshodi, Boundary Market, Ajegunle, Ikorodu, Ojotaketu, Egbeda, Ada, and Onyigo. For more tori, make you check their website www.davodanimfb.com. DDMFB.
You get what you sign up for when you join the dial.
We always blame victim to every situation.
Why did Ghana rejected the incursion of the Western boy into their country?
Why do you think a president will just go in and feel like he's a king?
Get some excitement to go with it.
Teams in the Premier League is vastly improving.
When you have a relationship that has no name,
You won't be entitled.
All in a bid to give you great talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
It's 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.